Hello, good evening. Firefighters are still working at Glasgow's world-renowned School of Art to put out remaining pockets of the blaze that started on Friday evening. The historic building has been gutted and experts believe it may be beyond repair. Nina MacLeod has spent the day at the scene.
A second day spent working to dampen down the fire that devastated the Macintosh building. The ongoing operation means those who live close by are being escorted to and from their homes.
We saw the first fire and now this one, and this one is worse than the first one because now it's like a shell.
And there are fears the ravaged building is now unsafe.
You saw the photos and the video. It was quite an intense fire, so that would lead us to automatically assume that demolition may very well be in it, and it may very well be structurally unsound at the moment.
Friday night's blaze was the second to hit the art school in 4 years.
We understand people are asking questions, understandably, but we have to be very forensic, we have to be very thorough, and we have to make sure that we actually establish the facts. So it will take as long as it takes.
David Mundell will talk about all the...
And the politicians, aware of the cultural significance of the Mac, say talk of a public inquiry into the cause of the fire is also premature.
Clearly, the various inquiries that naturally follow from a fire will take place, and hopefully they will get to the bottom of exactly what has happened.
Is there a case for a public inquiry?
I don't at this stage think that there's a case for a public inquiry unless someone can bring forward some exceptional reason.
I can understand people want lots of the questions answered, but clearly we've got to have the process in place first. We have to have the fire investigation first, and I think we should give people the time to carry out those very responsible duties to best effect, and that will give us clarity of what is possible going forward.
This will be the scene for some days to come as efforts continue to secure the Macintosh and surrounding buildings, with firefighters working hard to extinguish any remaining pockets of fire. Nina MacLeod, reporting Scotland.
A 10-year-old boy has been injured in a hit and run in Edinburgh. He suffered a broken arm after he was struck by a car on West Granton Road yesterday afternoon. The Scottish Conservatives say the Scottish Government will receive a £2 billion boost for public services as a result of the UK Government investment in the NHS. The Prime Minister has announced an extra £20 billion by 2023 for NHS England, meaning a windfall for Scotland under the Barnett formula. The Scottish Health Secretary, Shona Robertson, said the extra funding was welcome, but she added that the Scottish Government was committed to passing on every penny of health resource consequentials into health investment in Scotland. Andy Murray says he can win more Grand Slam titles and that he has no long-term concerns about his injured hip. Murray finally gets back on the match court on Tuesday. Kerry Nidsan reports.
A return to the tennis tour after nearly a year out. A Queen's Club comeback after January's hip surgery.
It's not a gamble in terms of me going on the court that I'm going to re-injure my hip or hurt myself by playing. It's just you never know exactly when you're ready, you know. It's especially after this amount of time. I'm sure if I tried to play, you know, if I missed the Glasgow season and tried to play in 5 or 6 weeks, the same doubts would still be there.
Those doubts will be answered on Tuesday when he faces the mercurial Australian Nick Kyrgios here on centre court. And if all continues to go well, Murray believes he can be a Grand Slam winner once again.
I think it's still possible, yeah, but not expecting that to be the case in the next 2 weeks. I mean, I don't think you miss sort of a year of playing and then come back and start winning Grand Slams. That isn't how this works. The expectations for me are very, very low right now, and I'll sort of reassess what my goals are when I'm back out there competing and feeling good again.
A return here that's also good news for Wimbledon, which gets underway in just a fortnight. Kerry Nidsan reporting Scotland at London's Queen's Club.
And in rugby, Scotland's Blair Kinghorn missed a last-gasp kick for victory in Houston, Texas early this morning. USA claimed their first ever win over Scotland by 30 points to 29. And Gillian Smart has weather forecast for us now.
Good evening to you. There hasn't been an awful lot of brightness around today. The northeast saw the best of it, but further west and scenes were more like this one, heavy cloud and outbreaks of drizzle, and that's because we've had a weather front working its way in from the west, and tonight that will bring cloud across much of the country and some outbreaks of patchy rain, and then through the early hours it becomes mostly dry and skies clear, and it does become windy. Winds will strengthen, and that will be a notable feature tomorrow. We have low pressure centred to the north of us, and you can see these tightly packed isobars indicating strong winds. Tomorrow will start mainly dry with some brightness, just the odd shower, and then through the day we'll see thickening cloud from the west, bringing some outbreaks of rain for the afternoon. Best of the brightness will be in the far north, though here there will be a scattering of showers, and strong southwesterly winds with gales in the far north and northwest. For Tuesday, it's still breezy, winds only slowly easing, some heavy rain for central and southern Scotland, with the best of the brightness in the north. That's the forecast.
And that's Reporting Scotland. We're back with the next bulletin at 10:20 tonight. From all of us, have a good night. Bye-bye.